Hey friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn, and today I'm crafting with Bitty Penny's gorgeous, gorgeous papers. This paper collection is called Gilded Rose, and if you are not familiar with Bitty Penny's papers, she actually designs them as 6x8 papers. Some of the papers are like the one that I'm using, where there's actually two designs, and so it makes it really convenient for creating sketch number 7 here because the two designs I think complement each other, which is really great. They sort of have the same color palette, but it's not super identical, so each of them still looks a little bit unique and different. One is soft and doesn't quite, it has more open space, whereas the other one, it has a pattern that fills out the panel more. So using them together is really perfect because they are distinct enough you can still recognize them when they're, especially when they're side by side like this. It's very distinguishable one from the next. So I thought that they would be really perfect, and plus I just had to trim off a couple inches so that I would have these 4 strips for the beginning of sketch number 7. Now, I rummaged through my scraps and I found some solid color cardstock to fill in the bottom of sketch number 7. If you've never played along with Kendra's card challenge, when you're looking at these sketches, where you see color is where, if you were to play along by cutting your 6 sheets of 6x6 pattern paper, those colored blocks would come from those 6 sheets of pattern paper. And where you see white, grays, and black, that's anything you want it to be. So that could be solid color cardstock, it could be an embossed panel, it could be an inky panel, anything that you would like to use there. It's basically designer's choice. And I've definitely played along with Kendra's card challenge where I haven't even really used pattern paper where it suggests to use pattern paper. So you are always free to adapt these sketches, make them your own. And as long as you are inspired by the sketch and it is clear that you've maintained the spirit of the sketch, it's a very valid way to play along and still qualify for prizes. Now, once the prizes have all been given out, the amazing 15 sketches that you get as part of that free download that you can get from Kendra's Patreon page, it is just a wonderful resource in and of itself, because anytime I'm feeling lost for ideas, I love to start with a sketch because I can at least start doing something, start getting my hands a little bit busy. And that's basically how this card evolved. I knew that I wanted to use this particular, and it's just from one sheet, and the one sheet has both designs. Not to mention the fact that all of Bitty Penny's papers are double-sided. So on the one side, you get 2 designs, and then on the back side, you get a 3rd design. So she's really packed in a lot of variety in each of her card paper packs. Now, not every sheet is designed that way, where you have like a split panel on the one side, but I really do love that she does it occasionally, because if you're like me and you craft a lot of A2 cards, then having the split design is really nice, because then you have 2 full card panels right there ready to go for your A2 card. I did, if you notice, fussy cut that doily. Are you proud of me? Because I am not a fan of fussy cutting, but I wanted to use it as a collage element. And in the sketch, this is represented by those circles, but as I mentioned, these are just suggestions so that you know where to maybe place a bit of a focal image and something to just start to jog your creativity. And once I have a cluster that I feel like I generally actually take a photo of it so that I can remember, just in case it moves or I accidentally tip it over or something. I like to take a photo once I know I like a particular layout, and then if something weird happens, things shift, things move, I at least still have the photo. Now, I want to bring in some of that sort of the browns that are in some of those cut apart pieces that I collaged up. And so I've brought out my Love from Lizzie's pinstripe stickers. I think this is a bronzy color, and I'm going to line the bottom of this particular strip here. Now, the strip of that sort of darker olive color, in the sketch, it's kind of a little bit taller and it's higher up. But I went ahead and just kind of changed it a little bit, shifted it down, and used it as a bordering piece because I just really feel like those papers are so lovely. Plus, I ended up using a lot of elements to create this collage. And I felt like if I added that strip going across, I would be covering up even more of that gorgeous panel that I started with. And I want as much of that to still be visible as possible. And so this is what I mean by, once I start along on a sketch, at some point I will have made enough progress to where maybe some of the decisions that I've made are starting to kind of dictate, the design, and that the sketch starts to take on a life of its own. So I made some adaptations, but I think when you look at the card overall, you can see that it was inspired by sketch number 7 here. And I am using low profile foam, so even though I've got one of the elements already raised with one layer of foam, I can still stack 2 layers of foam on top of this piece that I'm adhering now. And I think this would still go through the mail just fine. And this card came together so quickly because everything in this paper pad just coordinates beautifully. There's so many different elements to work with, and I really just love it to bits. If you're looking for more inspiration from Biddy Penny, who is not only one of our design teammates, but also a super sponsor of KCC 18, just expand the description box below, click on that playlist where you'll find even more inspiration featuring Biddy Penny and KCC 18. You can win a prize from Biddy Penny along with these amazing companies shown here by playing along with KCC 18. All you have to do is make a complete set of 18 cards, take a single photo of all 18 cards, and upload it to that link party. Thanks so much for checking out my video. I hope you enjoy the rest of the videos on this hop, and until next time, happy crafting and have a fabulous day. Bye.